Yo, what is up, YouTube? It is Andrew here from the Heroic Play, and we got another battle report for you today. First one since the update, and we're pumped. We've been playing a lot of Warmachine, we've been learning a lot, and yeah, we are excited for Beach Brawl. Anyway, we got all our lists up in the description here, and we have Dusk versus Orgoth. I am running Tyrus, and Matt, friend of the channel, is running Butcher. Well, New Age Butcher. So, yeah, we rolled up for scenario and we got payload. I chose to go first, and Matt is going second. So, this list, my list in particular, is actually inspired by the Australian player that won really big tournament out there. So realistically, what I'm doing here is I'm running a Super Junior, I am running the in-faction Super Junior, and I am also running Tyrus very lean with only one arc node. So it is a little different. His list had a lot more variety in it. This one is really hard, focusing on cats. As you can see, I have 2 cavalry units, and I also have Benkei and Sasha, so we are going full cat mode here today. And yeah, Matt is bringing a scary amount of warjacks here. He's got the new 80mm that they have, the super trampler. He's bringing a Jackal, 2 Tyrants, and he's got a whole lot of units and solos. So pretty much you're gonna see I'm just gonna run up with everything and basically pray that I live. So that's pretty much the plan for turn 1, is run up and pray and just see what happens, and then try and salvage from there. But yeah, we're rocking Nostilla and Aberration in the middle, putting on Vision and 3 Focus onto the Aberration, standard turn 1 procedure. Running up Tyrus and my my unit of Guardians just to support, because they have a lot of denial tech. You have a bunch of shield guards, and you have Tyrus who can eat spells. We have Lanyssa, who's running up right behind them for all the same juicy tech. Just being able to protect all 3 of your casters in a brick in the middle is pretty sick. We're running up Last Watch and the Scyir on one flank. We've got cats all over the place, cats out the bag, and we got some mages in a trench. So the scary thing at this point is that when I feat, I can pretty much just reach out and hit a good majority of the board. So if my front cats live, I'm threatening about, I don't know, a lot of board. So Matt goes up with his ranged unit, which I believe are called the Barragers, and he's just trying to hurt some cats. The issue here is that they're defense 13, and I have 2 armor buffs. So I have an armor buff on 1 unit of cats, which is IR, and I have another armor buff, which is coming from Lanyssa, and I believe that is called Heart of Ice. So both of them have armor 19, which is pretty scary. So even though I am running up and praying, it's not like I don't have some contingency plans. Yep, so Matt's going up, moving up his army cautiously, staying behind his defenses. Very smart, just trying to figure out how he can survive this alpha strike. And I kind of let him know, I'm like, well, yeah, the range on my cats right now is I'm base speed 8, charging plus 3, so 11. I have a 1-inch threat, so 12, and I can feat and just give everything plus 2 speed and ghostly. Or, well, place them 2 inches and give them ghostly. So, yeah, he's holding those Rhok Harriers back just as a, he doesn't want them to get clapped this early, and he wants to use them as like a counterpunch. So just kind of trying to get as much chip damage as he can. Clocks over to me, and if you got it, you kind of got to go for it. I'm planning, I think this is a feat turn for me, just because if I can get some stuff, I got to get it. And we're just checking some ranges here. Seeing what can and can't be done. If I need to feat, but realistically, right now I could just charge his dudes with the Mage Hunter Assassins without feeding. So we're just going to go ahead and do that and see what can get done. Mage Hunter Assassins are pretty scary with the decap. Having the Dreadguard Scyir also give him Stir the Blood is kind of insane. I'm also running, I believe it's Vaelyss. Yeah, so Vaelyss can kind of keep some things alive and reduce some hits. So he just basically makes the enemy waste their time, which is what I heard from the Amusing Panda podcast. They really sold me on Vaelyss. They were like, yeah, he is just a clock burner. Hey, let you hit this cat that has spring blades. And yes, oddly enough, I accidentally deployed him on the wrong side of the board. He should technically be switched with Dyssiss, but he could still keep Mage Hunter Assassins alive. So yeah, we are just gumming up the works here with cats. We're trying to take as many bodies as we can. We're also just trying to use repo as tactically as possible to gum up as much as possible. And now you just have to deal with some Armor 19 Springblade cats, which is kind of scary. Dropping the Ghast to try and stranglehold his big boy. Moving Aberration and Nostilla to the 50 so I can play on Scenario. Trying to figure out what else needs to be done on this other side of the board here and if feat is necessary. Also just trying to see what we can do on his side of the board. I believe we just decide to run and gum up that side of the board as that's his arc node. And then the Dreadguard Scyir, I believe, stirs the blood on the cats. Because I have 2 tokens on them. I did play this game like a week or 2 ago, so things are a little foggy. And then we just toss Tyrus in the trench. Toss the Guardians on the 40. Go in with some Stirred the Blood cats. They're angry. And we might see a dead Tyrant here. Or not. But we're seeing the... Or yes. I couldn't remember if I killed it or not. But yes. And now we're going to just take our Poison Tail Strikes on a solo there. See if we can clap them. Then we repo 3 just to be annoying. And now there's a bunch of cats that are just kind of just chilling in the enemy lines right now. Checking charge lanes on Benkei and Sasha for the return punch after Matt tries to deal with all these, really hard to move pieces in his line. But he does have a super trampler, and he does have some answers on the retort. He does have Butcher Feet. He still has a lot of items on the table here. So, in standard Orgoth fashion, he has received the punch, and now it is time to counter punch. So he just moves his arc node out the way so that he can cast spells or, get things in the proper location. Checking some charge lanes here. Getting set up for Scenario. He's just kind of putting his jacks into where they need to be. And just slapping them. I believe he's good. I can't remember if he feats this turn with Butcher, but he is trying to kill some cats, clear the way so he can start getting some of Butcher's abilities rocking. So yeah, he cleared a cat and got a stack. Now he's going in with the Tyrant. These last watch looking real rough, but you know, they are pretty high defense. Defense 15 is nothing to sneeze at. This list really kind of is just a standard. I don't want to say standard. It is a straight stat check. It's, hey, can you deal with Spring Blades? Hey, can you deal with high defense? Hey, can you deal with high armor? Can you deal with tough no knockdown? Can you deal with this? Can you deal with this? It's a very, you know, do you have tools for my problems? Very interesting to pilot this list because basically you kind of just throw things out turn one and pray, and then do an alpha strike and see what happens. As prescribed, he goes with the Super Trampler and he tries to kill some cats. It looks like he did not feat this turn, actually. I think we did talk about that later after the game. If a feat turn 2 would have actually just helped him clear out a lot of the chaff. He gets a pretty solid brute, you know, he messes up that gas, let me tell you that. And my Stranglehold missed on that big chicken. So I tried to arc off Stranglehold so that he couldn't do that, but I missed def 13 on 3 dice. So, you know, things happen. Then he's just trying to clear as much as possible, throwing the Rhok Harriers in. We're checking charge lanes. He does have fly, and we're checking to see where he can place his base. Oh, there's the ticket. Drop everything else within 2. They do have calves, so helps a lot when trying to hit these high defense models. If I'm honest, I think cavalry stocks and defenses stocks, and sapper too, on the flip side of that, have really gone up since the changes, just because having defense is huge. I also like, I believe it's the duck and cover card. I just never know when to use it. Yep, just trying to deal as much damage to cats as he can. And then clocks over to me. So now I have to... Oh, we also push our payloads if they're not contested. And I bring up Aberration based on the payload push, which is kind of huge. That's really what I wanted Aberration to do, is to kind of follow that 50 ml and give me, ml, geez, 50 millimeter base, and then also just to give me an extended threat. So now I can really threaten that chicken or big old Super Trampler. Azdharak, is that what his name is? Azdharak. I get the Ghast out of dodge because we might try and arc node something, or I'm just scared and I need something to sit on this 50. That's actually probably what I'm doing. And as prescribed, the Aberration goes in, and you know, he's big and scary. I don't know what to tell you. He is also unfortunately a stat check of just, I have a million attacks, I have answers to problems, and he is the problem, actually. I mean, I think Nostilla and Aberration are really, really strong. Magnus and Invictus also strong, but dang, both just the Super Juniors in 2026 are so good. Being able to boost attack rolls and just giving yourself an extra 5 focus every turn is insane. So, yeah, the Super Junior stock's also super up. Charge in with the Dreadguard Scyir and then battle plan the Last Watch with the Stir to Blood. The Dreadguard Scyir is also one of those models that kind of really surprised me playing him now in 2026, where that just having that weapon master slap and then also having the ability to shoot your hand cannon, like you could start clearing some charge lanes and still give Stir to Blood. So he's pretty much just useful all the time. Definitely worth his 4 points. Now we're just trying to see what we can do with our assassins. Seeing what we can do with the cats. I believe I Grim returns one of the assassins with Vaelyss. And yeah, it's rough out here. It's rough out here. I'll tell you that right now. It's just trying to clear as much as possible with what I have. Having I don't remember if it's called Unbreakable, but the ability Unstoppable, jeez. Having the ability to just kind of move out of melee and do stuff is such a strong ability. I will say I feel like there's a lot of things in this list that in a vacuum are so good. And then when you start to pile in all these other little like factors, they just kind of exponentially get better. So like having cats with Stir the Blood, having cats with an armor buff, having them with an extended range via Tyrus, it just really enables them. Matt is thinking this is definitely a feat turn, and he's gonna go in with Butcher and kill all these cats. This is time to clear out and take the middle. He's also thinking of maybe he wants to take that flank, or at least try and kill everything on it, because he's got Last Watch and Dreadguard Scyir, but he's got, the Tyrant who can just thresh everything. But he wants to start building up his feat and his ability by killing these cats. And he also takes away Tough, which kind of, I believe he takes away Tough. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure he has something that can do that. Yeah, enemy models lose Tough under feat. So I completely ignores my IR spell, which has gotten me out of some really rough situations. Just having a 33% chance to not die and remain standing is insane. And now he's like, I gotta clog up Nostilla Aberration, or else Butcher's in a really rough spot. Kills one of the Last Watch. Wisely removes the girl with 2 swords. Kills another Last Watch, and pretty sure he's gonna kill the other one. He's trying to figure out if he has something to take out Tyrus with. Maybe chuck some spears, but he's like, I gotta clog up and do as much as I can. Dreadguard Scyir takes a pretty rough punch there, but, you know, he's got 8 boxes. And it's at that point where we check the score, and it's 8-2 in favor of Dusk. Matt learned a ton, and we both agree if he feeded turn 2, this game would have looked a lot different, but we learned a bunch, and it was a great game. Have a good one.